So I wanted to do another video on Angel Ramirez. This one specifically is going to be on the whole Pacific portion of Colombia. To me, the way I see it is this. Most of the people in the Pacific part of Colombia are basically 63% African. I specifically said this, that Afro-Latino does not specifically mean 100% African. It doesn't. Usually it's actually closer to 50%, as I showed there. Now, the other thing was on Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans are 20% black on average. I've shown basically many photos of Puerto Ricans, and I've shown Angel Ramirez. And you can see he looks a lot less Hispanic than the Puerto Ricans. He looks less black than the Puerto Ricans. He looks more European than the Puerto Ricans. And these are full Puerto Ricans who are 20% black. He, on the other hand, is less black looking than someone who is on average 20% black. So how could he look black when he doesn't even look as black as someone who's minorly black at 20% black? So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. Another thing I wanted to also talk about was I kind of feel like with him is this. Because I wouldn't accept him as black looking, and because he kept making these extremely long comments, by the way, these comments are extremely long, and he made 18 of these. And, he went really crazy, honestly. Just because I didn't think he was black looking. And that's what I've said. He doesn't look black looking. But a major thing was, what I found was this. Because I wouldn't claim that he was black looking, he got mad at me and started trying to be racist against me. And it's like this. You're trying to be mad at me and try and say that I am trying to be Dominican or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm not. But you still don't look black. You still look less black than a Puerto Rican. I identify as black. Trying to make a race to be the whitest is the mindset of somebody who thinks that light is better than everybody else. And I've talked about this in my past videos, but I'm going to talk about it again, I guess. And to me, it's just like often these type of people get mad at the fact that people like me will not accept them as black looking. Because, see, it's his bread and butter for people to believe that he looks black. But most people looking at him wouldn't even know he was black unless he said he was black. Blackness, like I've said in the past, is not a choice. It's a phenotype. It's an experience in society. When people see you as black, they treat you a certain way. When people see you as a Hispanic or a multiracial mestizo Latino, you get treated a certain way. Angel Ramirez would fall into the latter category, and it's got nothing to do with his name. His name could be Tyrone for all it matters. He would still be treated like a mestizo Latino with a different type of name. There are plenty of people who have supposedly black names. There are no black names, by the way. I mean, is my name black? And Deanna? Is my name black? I don't think so. I think it's just a name. I'm a black person. I have a name. Most black people have names. They aren't black because if they were African, that would be good. Because at least we would have some trace to our roots, but we don't have any trace to our roots because of the whole situation with slavery and the whole situation with our names being changed to English names. So making up the fact that people have black names or Hispanic names, that's ignorant because black people don't have black names. But, That's what I mean. He lives off stereotypes. He talks a certain way in order to try to relate to certain types of black people. He tried to claim his last name is African or something, when Jordan is an English name. That's not a black name. So I just think that it's really sad that, people think if you act a certain way, if you talk a certain way, you will be accepted as black. We don't even know this guy for real to know who or what he is, and it doesn't even matter. What matters is he doesn't look black, therefore he's not going to be treated like a black person. If he is 100% black, when he goes out into society, he's still not going to be treated like a black person. That's just what it is. And him trying to claim that his grandfather is fully black, like I said, most likely is not the case because his grandfather was Afro-Latino. And as I pointed out before, they are closer to 50% than 100%. So his grandfather most likely was maybe 50 or close to 50% black. Obviously, if he's only 62, 64% black, obviously his mother was not half black. This is just easy math. Everybody knows this. I would say his mother was obviously not that more black than most Puerto Ricans, which is another thing. He said specifically that he looks like his mother. And his mother, if his mother looks like him, would look a lot less black than most of the Puerto Ricans I showed. See, actual black-looking or more black-looking Puerto Ricans like Natalie Garcia look more black than him. And she doesn't even look black after all that. So to me, it's just like, this is bullcrap. Trying to say that people who are black, are the same as someone like him. We're not going to have the same experience as him because we don't look like him. I know a lot of black people wish that they were like him, but that's not how we should really see ourselves. We should see reality. Also, one other thing I wanted to say was, he tried to act like, if he can't be black, he's going to shame me for being black. And that shows you that he doesn't really love being black because he's trying to shame others for being black. By saying, like, someone is delusional because they admitted that they have 1/8 Dominican, even though they didn't say that they were Dominican because they were 1/8 Dominican. They said their last name was originated from people who are Dominican, being a Ramirez, basically. And I've always said the Dominican side of my family looks more dark-skinned than I do. They look more black than I do. They actually are dark-skinned, by the way. I think they're darker than they're dark-skinned. They're not non-black people. They're black people. If anything, if I was trying to claim to be mixed, wouldn't I just keep my name at what it is? At Joseph. And try to say that I'm Creole. Because Joseph is a Creole last name. I don't do that because if you look way back, it's like 1/8 Creole. I'm not claiming 1/8 Creole. I'm not claiming 1/8 Cajun. I don't claim those things. I just say, well, that name is Creole, that name is Cajun, that name is Dominican. That doesn't even mean that I am. I specifically say I grew up with my mother. My mother's side of the family. They are black. I know they like to claim all sorts of weird stuff sometimes. Black people love to do that. But I don't claim that. I don't claim the it makes no sense to me to claim the ancestry people claim, because half the time when they take the DNA test, they don't even show, So to me, I just call my mom's side black. And, that's just what I see them as. I see them as black. I know that may be rude to call someone black who doesn't identify with it, but to me, from my perspective, it's like, hey, if you are black, you are black. Done. That's just how I see it. So that's the thing here. That mentality of trying to say, being less black is a better thing if you can't be black. This is what you're doing. You're trying to encroach in other people's spaces, and if they don't accept you, you're going to shame them for being black. So you don't actually like being black. You don't like black people. You just want to use black people. That's all that's about. That's all it's about. And that's why I made sure I saved those comments. Because to me, it's very important to talk about. Because he tries to claim he's pro black, but then he wants to shame a black woman for being a black woman. So it's obvious he's just trying to cash in on black women's insecurities and not actually help black women. He hates black women most likely, obviously, from those comments. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.